He knows sit. Maxxie, sit. Maxxie, sit.
Maybe too much excitement right now.
Yeah, but he knows that. He knows stay. He knows lay down. He knows go get your toy. He'll go pick out his favorite toy and go get it. He knows, obviously come here. What else? He knows drop it. Like basic stuff. Basic stuff. I taught him like up, so he stands on his back. Oh. So.
Good boy. Good job, guys.
You're being a good boy, huh?
See, like if you wouldn't have told me that Spongy and him had this similar relationship in the beginning, I'd say this is like a home run. But but it developed over time.
Yeah.
So.
And I was aiming more towards the, I guess, the connection between Karen, like the affection. They wanted, they both wanted.
Yeah. But did they get to the point where they couldn't even be in the same room without fighting, or
it was just sporadic. You didn't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It didn't happen all the time. And they would play, and they would, and then all of a sudden they'd have enough of each other.
So you need to physically step in between the dogs. In the beginning, I always say, leashes and collars on the dogs, so that when you're reaching in, you're never reaching for this. You're reaching for this, and that's the best way. And you need to step in with authority. Just like if you had kids, you wouldn't say, "All right, guys, when you're done fighting, please go to your separate rooms." You'd step in and you'd stop the fighting, right? And you're going to let them know that it's not acceptable and it's not going to happen again. And that you do by actions, not words. Puff yourself up and say, all right, not going on. Because that's the investment that you make to make sure that you can have this kind of stuff going on all the time, not hit or miss.
Right.
Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not good.
The last one was Spongy and him. It was so sporadic. It happened out of the blue.
Yeah.
And there was no getting them apart.
Well, so I always say it's easy to stop a fight, not when it gets to level 10, but when you see it going from 1 to 3 to 4, you step in then before it ever gets to,
You're being good.
This is Jesse and
Dakota. He's getting his hair cut some more.
What kind of dogs are they?
They're cockapoos.
We got a little bigger than we expected.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's a big boy.
Hello, Maxxie. You're a very good boy. You're very good, and you're very
Were you
good.
expecting him to be accepting like this? Or a little surprised? Yeah.
It's a good boy, man.
Yeah.
There you go.
He's very good. You're Maxxie, yes you are.
He's relaxed. You can
You're
see he's
beautiful,
relaxed.
huh?
Gets a little nervous. See, when Joe goes, then tail doesn't stop. When Karen goes, tail stops. It gets a little bit like, okay.
It's funny because I think initially I always thought he was afraid of men, but it seems that he's reassured by a male presence.
Right.
It gives him, because he has a lot of fear and anxiety. So I think because my dad has been working with him a lot and sort of like being sort of like the leader, and my boyfriend has tried too, and it seems to really make him feel good, like in a way that's different than what I do.
All of our troubled peaks that we've had have total respect for him.
Yeah.
Total respect for him.
Yeah.
Good job, guys.
Yeah, wow, this is going good so
Good
far.
job. Good job.
You're good, Jess. Come here, come on. You're being
Cody
so good.
could give or take him.
Yeah,
He's 11. He don't, he's set, but he's the boss. He runs the roost.
So cute.
And you say Max is about 6 or
He's
7
about
now?
6,
About 6, yeah.
6 or 6.5.
Yeah.
I got him in December of 2010. And they told me at first that he was 2. Then I took him to the vet. They told me he was 1. So I really
you don't know. Yeah.
So I just kept. I said he was 2 for like 3 years.
It's too bad we can't just change our ages like that, right?
Right?
Yeah, you know what? I don't think I'm 35 anymore. I'm 32. That's
Gonna
it.
go with Gary there, Jesse.
The only
You've got a
issues
lot
that
of
he
dogs.
had.
Yeah, his nose is too long. He won't make the cut.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so, like, in the cold weather,
We're
he kinda limps.
a very snobbish household.
So cute. He's such a good boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, if they weren't relaxed, this would never be happening. I mean, he would not lay down on his paws. They're all very relaxed.
Good boy.
So you project confidence. Confidence helps the dogs stay relaxed. If they think you're anxious, they're gonna get anxious. You know, if you were like holding this, like, be good, be good, be good, be good. You're transmitting right down to him that you're anxious. He doesn't know why you're anxious. He just knows you're anxious, and then he gets anxious and protective.
This is what he pretty much does.
Yeah, that's what they all do.
Is he okay? Is he okay alone all day?
Yeah.
I mean, we both
he's used to it. Yeah,
work all
honestly.
day.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
work crazy hours. I own a yoga studio, so I'm not around a lot, and that's part of the reason why I feel
Good
like
boy.
he needs a better situation.
Well, if anybody can find him, the best home is Gary. We've worked with other foster groups, and Gary's the only
Good boy.
one I feel confident with that I know the
Good boy.
dog's getting the right.
Good boy. Thank
Other
you.
ones I've been like,
They just give them away. I mean, they don't care. They don't do the background checks, or they do a minimal background check. And,
I mean, I've spoken with a couple of different groups myself, and they told me to euthanize him. Like,
my goodness, no.
So they're like, no,
why?
nobody's
He's a
gonna
perfect
adopt.
great
Yeah.
They're like,
dog.
nobody's gonna adopt him. Because he
Don't
has
say
a
that,
history of
'cause-
aggression. I'm like,
Look at our Milo. He was adopted.
Good boy. Good boy.
He was Gizmo,
Yep.
15 years old.
it's
Found
such a shame,
somebody.
that people just.
You don't know the situation.
And they're not the right groups to deal
You
with.
don't know
There
the
are good
parents.
groups out there.
Oh, yeah.
Passed away.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
had the dog, and the kids couldn't take care of it because they couldn't get near it, or who knows. You know.
How did you find me again? That was
Google.
the Google. Oh, really? Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
And through I googled like Pekingese rescue, and like your thing comes right up.
Yeah.
when you do that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it was
there's also-
like the other one that comes up was the one that told me to euthanize. So
Was that the one?
Dottie. Her name is Dottie.
Oh, Dottie. Yeah, I know Dottie.
Is that the one in the Pekingese Rescue Network in Hillsborough? That's the one we almost were thinking about adopting a dog from. They said that to you? Oh.
I thought
I
Dottie.
was, like,
I thought
really
Dottie
bad.
stopped doing rescue.
I don't know. I was like heartbroken after that.
That kind of makes me sick now.
Because
Yeah.
I sort of felt like I'm like lost. I'm like I can't put him to sleep, but I can't take care of him. So I don't like what do I do? You know, like, it was just sort of hopeless.
boy.
And then I was like, I'll just keep trying to make it work. You know, and it's
Like we're lucky around us. There are a lot of groups now that take that. It's a challenge for them. They take in the trouble dogs to try to help them. And wow, I'm surprised because I thought I was just start doing research on that because like I said, we just saw Pekingese. We were thinking about maybe adopting, but I don't like that.
Did you actually talk to Dottie?
I did. I had a very long.
So she's still
conversation with
involved.
her.
I thought she stopped doing Pekingese rescue because she used to pull dogs from the Manhattan shelters and the Brooklyn shelter, and then
She does
they started
have to
calling
do
us
that.
because they said she was very selective of the
Yeah.
dogs that she took.
So that's probably.
Yeah, I thought she got out of
She
it
just probably didn't want
altogether.
to deal with having to help.
Well, you know what?
doesn't
In
have-
fairness, if you bring in one trouble dog, that one trouble
know.
dog will tie up a spot that you go through about 5 easy to place dogs
Exactly.
versus one trouble dog. So if you're doing the numbers game, I could help more dogs if I don't take in the problem
know,
dogs.
but
Yeah.
Her
But
thing
then
was,
definition
too,
of
that
problem
She didn't want
is
to invest in like training.
Yeah.
seeing that part. Look, if you bring a dog in that has a medical issue, we wouldn't think twice about getting that fixed.
Yeah.
But you have behavioral issue, that's no different than a medical issue. It's just a different kind of issue.
Exactly.
Why would you not spend the same money to help a behavioral issue? Problem is like a dog has cancer, $1,000 surgery, and maybe we get it all. there's no limit to, behavior can grow and grow and grow, and it's unsuccessful. You keep trying before you blink an eye. You spend $1,000 and you still don't have an answer as to, is this dog going to ever behave in an environment? You don't know. Yeah. So some people just say, that's an unknown, I don't want to deal with it.
And that's basically what she said.
But sometimes
like, if
behavioral...
he has aggression issues and he's bit people in the past, then you need to consider euthanizing him. I was like, I didn't even think about that. That wasn't even ever in my wheelhouse of things that I would want to do.
Listen, they just told me the same thing with this pug JJ. He said, euthanize the dog. And I said, that dog does not need to be put to sleep. He just needs to be found the right
guidance.
Yep, that's it. And he's doing great, and we'll find a place for him. We'll find a better place than we found the first time for him.
Hey.
That's okay.
No.
That's okay. So was he up in? He was up in his face.
Yeah.
And he was too much for him.
He'll tell him.
Yeah, that's fine.
He did the same thing with
That's
Spongy.
right. That's right.
Spongy would follow him around like he was the head man, and
that's probably what
sometimes he got.
Yeah.
He'll totally do that.
Yeah.
He had when I lived in the city. I had met this woman in the dog park and stuff, and she was helping me take care of him and stuff when I would work really late. And she had a corgi, an older corgi, so Maxxie just like idolized this dog and followed him around, nipping at his ears, and every once in a while he'd be like, "All right, cut it out,"
Yeah, and that's how they communicate.
Yeah.
They don't say, "Could you back off a little bit, please?" They're like, and then, "All right, I got your message. I got your message."
He's never actually bitten and hurt.
He just told them.
Get away from
exactly.
me. Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If we want to look at it positive, that message was, "Could you please just back up a little bit?"
Okay.
Then we would be okay with it, right? But when we think,
Yeah.
"Oh, that's not nice," that's all. He just said, "Please back off a little bit," because he didn't do anything afterwards.
No.
He delivered the message. He got the message.
And
They're fine. They move on.
Yep.
They're great dogs.
Good boy.
Wow.
Good
They're so
boy.
well behaved.
They're very
Good
good
boy.
boys. And we have a quiet house. It's just us. There's no kids. Not a lot
boy.
of people coming in and out of it.
And they've been through
Good job.
this situation
Good job.
before, with dogs coming in, and we fostered 4 or 5, I guess 6, maybe, something like that. Yeah.
So now that I gave you Kim's email. Did you email him yet?
No, not yet.
Yeah.
We don't want to hound them.
He's going to call me this weekend to talk to me, let me know how things are going. I didn't forward you the pictures, did I?
No.
One great shot of Spongy sitting on the couch between his mother and his father. Spongy gets along great with his parents now too. So,
That's awesome. That makes me feel so good for Spongy.
Yeah.
That was very hard given that we had him promise a year we were fostering him.
He has a bay window out in front of his house.
I saw that
Spongy
picture.
Oh, my
Yeah.
He watches the neighborhood.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
I seen that picture. He was so comfortable.
Yeah.
Looked like he was at home. That made me feel good, that picture.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I can relax now. Spongy's
so
fine.
nice.
Yeah.
In fact, I told Kim, I just mentioned in an email, he's not ready for another dog anyway, but JJ and Spongy were buddies when they were living in my house. So JJ is back, and we need someone who's going to provide JJ with very solid leadership. So I just off the cuff mentioned poor JJ. I thought you'd be interested to know that JJ is back, and bad adoption. We did a bad adoption. The guy didn't do what he was supposed to do, so he's back. And I was waiting for him to say, "Oh, you know what? Maybe." And I'm not going to let Spongy get nice and comfortable there. That's the dog that he adopted.
I was thinking Maxxie for him.
Yeah, I was going to see Max.
Well, he likes. I mean, he does like the Pekingese.
Yeah.
Does he bite a lot, or just when you're coming at him with his eye issue?
Yep, when you're coming right at him.
Milo
Especially
used
like
to
the
do that.
over the head,
Yeah.
He doesn't like that.
Milo used to
He
be like
gives you
that
a
when we
warning
first
though.
got him.
Like he gives you a warning. He
Right.
does. He shows his teeth. He'll let you know.
They got some sharp teeth.
Yeah.